This brief tutorial will walk you through how to check for open, closed, and canceled classes. One of the things that we want to stress at Lawson State is that our website is designed to equip you with all the information you need to be successful as a student. So part of being successful is that you manage the registration process properly. You always want to register early. We always register for classes the semester before classes begin. So if you find yourself standing in a line registering, that's a clue that you did something wrong. You always register online, first of all, the semester before. Now, the next thing we want to say is that the student portal, as we've talked about before, is your gateway to all kinds of information, including open, closed, and canceled classes. We're going back to that. So the way that you check for open, closed, and canceled classes and why that links to registration, it's very simple. First, let's talk about how it links to registration. We said earlier that you register the semester before. So a lot of things can happen and change between the time you register and then the time the classes begin. Classes, number one, can get canceled. We hate when that happens, but let's talk about that. A class is canceled when not enough students have registered. Lawson has thousands of students, so let's say that only 3 or 4 students register for a class. That tells us that, hey, there's just not enough interest in us actually continuing that class, so it's canceled. We do not call students at home about canceled classes, but we do make sure that we find a way to ensure that our students can check 24/7 if a class has been canceled. So that's even better than a phone call because you can check it on your own. We always tell students to check canceled classes right the day before class, the weekend before class is canceled, and during the first week of classes. Sometimes, unfortunately, classes can cancel even the first week of classes. It's rare, but it can happen. One of the things you need to do, if you ever walk into a class and you don't see anyone, you're sure that the room hasn't changed, you've checked, you can always come out here to make sure the class hasn't canceled. So, how do you do it? First, come out to, as we said, the student portal page, remember? And when you do, click on the class cancellation page. And that's just going to take you to our electronic schedule. What you need to do is make sure you have a copy of your schedule in front of you. So you can isolate, let's say you're taking a class on the Bessemer campus. And let's say you're checking your English class. Again, check every class on your schedule the weekend before and then throughout the week if you run into any trouble. Then you go ahead and hit submit. And you can see over here under status, if it reads open, 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 that's a good sign. That means that nothing has been canceled. If a class has been canceled, it will read in this area, canceled. If it reads closed, that does not mean the class is canceled. Let's talk about closed. A closed course means that the class is simply full. That means that if it had 30 seats, 30 students have registered and no one else can register. That means it's full and it will run. But again, you come here, you look under and you do a status check. If it says open next to your call number, so remember, like for example, you notice how there's 2 English 101 classes? You need to check the one that's on your schedule. Look to see if you're registered in 3808 or 3810 and come over and you'll see that that class is open. So maybe you just came late and missed the class. Anything could have happened, okay? So that's how you essentially check. Let's see if I can find one. I'm going to hit return. Let's check another one. Let's say you're also in a speech class. And this time I'm going to show you the difference when you do the whole campus, all campuses, all of the speech classes will come up on both campuses. This is important because let's say that one of your classes has canceled. The way that you find another class is the same way you're doing here. You can come out and see what other classes are available, and they're all open. So we don't have any canceled classes, so that's good. All right, well, that completes this tutorial. If you have any questions, please contact your advisor.